This is going to be a political video. And I'm just going to say this. As a person that very much supported them back during the 4th of July of last year, the fact is, Labor is burning way too much political capital on this. The ID plan is burning way too much political capital, because the fact is, everyone already thinks this is a bad idea. And the fact that people think it is a bad idea now, and there are very few defenders of the idea, show why it is a bad idea. Where the fact is, people already hate the Online Safety Act. Where basically, people are going to hate this idea. And with the Online Safety Act, they could have argued it wasn't their government that did it. Because to be clear, to my knowledge, it wasn't Labor that instituted the original Online Safety Act. And if they didn't waste their political capital trying to enforce this god-awful law, they would be a whole lot more popular than they are now. Because the fact is, burning this much political capital is just a terrible idea. It is such a god-awful idea. It is asinine. Like, sure, this might work to make it so, illegal workers can't work. But the fact is, I'm just going to tell you, nearly 2 million people signed a petition saying they don't want this becoming law. I presume many Labor MPs at this point, I don't know the British system completely, but at this point, they're facing a lot of political pushback. And the fact is, Starmer is burning boatloads, and I mean boats and trucks loads of political capital defending these two ideas. And the fact is that I wouldn't be surprised if something similar to the poll tax situation would start to happen if Starmer tries to implement something more stupid than this. Because the fact is, this idea of a digital ID that is on your phone and would be possibly expanded sounds as authoritarian as anything. Because the fact is, the Online Safety Act already got people pissed. Now the government wants to make an ID to make it so you can work. Yeah, that sounds like the most dumb idea even to a left-wing socialist American. Because the fact is, Starmer is burning as much political capital as he cannot lose right now. Because he didn't have a decently long honeymoon period. And the fact that his promises are not looking like they're getting done. Because the fact is, no one is happy with him. Where, to my knowledge, I don't know this off the top of my head, but to my knowledge, he's already politically unpopular. And as it's been shown that if a general election was done today, Labour would lose and Reform would win. And the fact that Labour isn't panicking about that and isn't trying to do something besides burn their credibility to the public, honestly is asinine. We're both on the left and on the right of politics. He is facing demons of his own making. For example, on the right, they call him an authoritarian for this project. On the left, they call him a Israel genocide approver, or basically approving the genocide in Gaza, because the fact they're quite literally having police officers arrest grandparents for the fact that they say what's happening in Gaza is a genocide. Like, you know how dumb you have to be to make it so both parts of your government, both parts of your population don't like you. And the fact that honestly, if I was in his position, I would have not burned the Capitol to even introduce this idea. Because to my knowledge, most people do not like the Online Safety Act to begin with. And this digital ID, sounds like the dumbest thing on earth. Because it alienates older voters. It pisses off young voters. It makes libertarians disgusted. It makes conservatives, even though the Conservative Party is in shambles, and also makes opponents that are on the up and up see blood in the water. Because the fact is, he's burning way too much political capital on these proposals. Because the fact is, I do not see any political good this will do for him. This will just be another killing blow to his approval rating. Because I highly doubt that people are going to want this to happen. Because the fact is, sure, immigration is an issue in Britain, but the fact is, I honestly do not think that this is going to blow back in his face completely. Like, this will blow back in his face. And the fact that, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised by this time next year, where, sure, challenging the Prime Minister is not as easy in the Labour Party as it is in the Conservative Party. But one thing I will say is that it is still possible. And the fact that in the recent elections, Reform is winning. And the Conservatives are winning. Labour isn't getting more ground, it is losing it. And the fact that it is putting a whole lot less energy behind Labour. And the fact that they're burning this much political capital on the digital ID is completely asinine. Because, to be completely honest, I honestly, when hearing about this idea, thought it was some Chinese crackpot. Because to many people in Britain, It's feeling like 1984. Actually, yeah, that's a great comparison, actually. Surely, because the fact is that people are already getting thrown in jail for their own speech. We're sure some of it is extreme, but the fact is, when a government cracks down on any kind of speech, even hate speech, people on both sides of the spectrums are going to call it authoritarian. Especially when you do not have a lot of wiggle room to go around. Because honestly, if I was in his position, I would have avoided doing anything like this. I would not touch immigration in this way. We're sure going hard on immigration is honestly common at this point globally. But the fact that this is in trying to take that down, when the fact that they have a similar thing where basically you can only get a job with national insurance card, shows to many people that the only reason why this is happening is for control. It might not be the reason, but well, it doesn't take a genius to know what this could be used for. And the fact that no one wants to give that information straight to the government. Because it is just a bad idea. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and I hope Labor gets its act together.